Go cookies, go cookies. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my very first bake with me during quarantine video. You all know I love baking. I love baking, okay? So I'm so excited to finally be sharing these recipes with you, especially in a time where we kind of want that extra love, that extra comfort food, like, and what's better than a nice chocolate chip cookie? This is the best recipe ever. It is foolproof. Every time I make it, it is bomb. It is this perfect, decadent, delicious cookie. It is literally the best cookie in the entire world, okay? And you guys know, especially if you follow me on Instagram, you know I get those crumble cookies. I would make these homemade cookies 10 times over before I got another crumble cookie. That's how much I love these cookies, okay? So I am bringing you this recipe. We about to get baking. Get your little chef coat on, your little pastry chef jacket on. We're gonna roll up them sleeves and we're gonna bake. So for these homemade chocolate chip cookies, I'm gonna go ahead and pop up on the screen all of the ingredients that you're gonna be needing, and I'll walk you through the directions, how to make them, making sure that they are perfect, what to do with leftover batter. All my tips, all my tricks I'm sharing here with you when making the best homemade chocolate chip cookies you've ever had. Alright, so I just used my KitchenAid. You can use whatever you have, like you don't have to have a KitchenAid obviously. You can just use your little hand mixer for this. But the first thing is 1 cup of butter. And you do want to make sure that your butter is softened, so if you do need to have it a little bit more soft, if it's not at room temperature, go ahead and pop it in the microwave. Just keep an eye on it. You don't want it melted, you just want it pretty soft. So I'm going to go ahead and just add in a cup of butter into the bowl. Now that the butter is added to the mixer, I'm going to go ahead and start mixing that while I get the sugar ready. This recipe calls for 1 cup of packed brown sugar. And packing just means that you are going to smash the sugar into it so it is full and all together. And it also calls for 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. So this is just normal white sugar. You can always replace it with coconut sugar if you want, but 3/4 cup. Then we're going to go ahead and close it and mix this for a few minutes. So as you can see, it's already coming together pretty well. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe down the sides of the bowl just to get everything all incorporated, and then I'm gonna keep mixing this for a little while longer. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop it. It is so fluffy. The more you mix it, the more creamier and fluffy. Like, there's so much air incorporated into this batter, which is good. And you can mix it as much as you want until the flour comes in. So I'm gonna go ahead, let me take it off the bowl. Let me scrape this down and kind of show you what it looks like already. So as you can see, this is just butter and sugar. And you know what? So good. And now we're gonna move on to the next ingredients. Okay, so next up we're gonna be adding in 2 eggs. Now you can crack these into another bowl and then pour them in, or you can just crack them in one by one. So I'm gonna go ahead and just crack it in there and make sure that there are no shells in the batter. Now we're gonna go ahead and close the mixer, lock it, and start mixing. Now we're gonna go ahead and add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla. The recipe only calls for 1.5, but I always do extra vanilla because it's so delicious. So, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. We're gonna bring it back down and keep on mixing. Okay, so we've got the butter, the 2 sugars, egg, and vanilla all mixed in. That's everything for our wet ingredients. Now we're gonna move on to the dry ingredients. So it's just gonna be flour, baking soda, and salt that we're gonna add into here. I do it a certain way. You can follow the way I do it, or if you wanna mix all the dry ingredients first and then dump it in, you can. But I'll show you a way that you can dirty 1 less bowl. Now we're gonna move on to the flour. This recipe calls for 2 2/3 cup of flour. I go ahead and add it right into the bowl. So we've got 1 cup of flour, 2 cups of flour, And then we just need 2/3. So I'm adding in 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and you always make sure that you level off baking soda. And we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt. Now I wanna show you the close-up on this so that you can see. I add the flour to 1/2 of the bowl, and then I added the soda and the salt right on top. So now I'm just gonna like gently mix it in to the flour here so it's a little bit more incorporated. And then I will mix this as usual. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe down all these sides. As you can see, flour is kind of pushed everywhere. So I'm gonna wipe down the bowl and then add in the chocolate chips and the pecans, and then we'll go ahead and pop these bad boys in the oven. Okay, but seriously, this is the best thing in the entire world. I'm gonna go ahead and add about a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can use milk chocolate if you like those better. I prefer these semi-sweet. Whatever brand you want, it's fine. Darian bought these Ghirardelli ones, and so we're a little bit bougie. Go ahead and just dump those in there. I personally feel like the amount of chocolate chips you put in your cookies is a very personal thing, where if you're somebody who likes a lot of chocolate, add a bunch of chocolate chips. If you're somebody who doesn't even like that many chocolate chips, just put a tiny bit in there. So do you, girl. There's no exact measurement. Now it's up to add the pecans. You're gonna go ahead and want some nice chopped pecans. We keep these in our pantry always because we add it to oatmeal and we add them to a lot of recipes. So go ahead, add as much or as little as you want, but I love pecans in the cookie. Now you might think it's crazy that pecans are in a chocolate chip cookie. Trust me with this, okay? Just make it and you'll love it with the pecans in it. And then the next time, if you for some reason are crazy and don't like it, or if you're allergic, I understand, you can go ahead and try it without them the next time you bake them. But the first time, you gotta do it right, girlfriend. So we're gonna go ahead and mix this. Yeah, girl. And you don't even mix it that long, just mix it for a little bit, make sure everything's all incorporated. And we're done, that's it. You don't wanna over mix your cookie batter. Everything's all fine and delicious. Oh my gosh, it literally looks so freaking good. Oh, wait, actually, let me give you a close-up on this. Wow. I mean, do you not just want to eat that entire thing? Oh, it looks so good. Okay, so truly this is the hardest part. The hardest part is not eating all of the cookie dough. Before it goes in the oven. So our oven is preheating to 300 degrees. Go ahead and start it preheating before you even start this. Sorry, I forgot to verbally tell you that, but I will have at least popped it up on the screen. And then go ahead and get a baking sheet. We're gonna go ahead and bake some of these. And then the ones that we're not gonna bake, we're gonna store in the fridge and in the freezer. Now, when I usually bake these cookies, honestly, I only make half a recipe, and I only do half a recipe because I don't wanna be tempted by eating so many cookies, because I don't know how many this makes. I don't know if it makes 3 dozen or 4 dozen, but it makes a lot of cookies. And so I just like to make half a batch. I have a few, and then I store the rest in the freezer, and I'll either snack on the cookie dough like once a day, or like have 2 cookies. So I just kind of like that better, so I can have some here or there, and I'm not like bombarded by having so many cookies and feeling like I need to eat all of them right away. That just helps me portion control. You can go ahead and half this recipe. That's usually what I do, and halving it is perfect. It doesn't alter the recipe at all. So yeah. Oh, just go cookies, go cookies, go cookies, go cookies. So you guys, I have made these normal size, big size. Darian's made them tiny size. Whatever size cookie you want, totally fine. The baking time will vary a little bit. So I'm just gonna go ahead and scoop. Literally, it's only me at home, so I'm probably only gonna make 6 so that I'm not tempted to eat like 100. So let me push all that down first. Let's scoop you down and then remove the paddle, because that's what we need to do. I'm gonna set this aside and look this later, you know what I mean? baking, we're gonna go ahead and store the extra cookie dough. This lasts in the freezer for I think 3 months or something. I mean, it doesn't last that long in our house. It'll last like a week, but eating them over the span of a week is better than eating them all in one day. Is it? I don't know. We'll see. Whatever. So I just have a normal Tupperware, and I'm just gonna scoop the little balls into the bottom of the Tupperware, and then I will do a full layer, and then I'm gonna top it with parchment paper. The parchment paper helps it not stick to itself. So you can go ahead and fill up one of these Tupperwares for the freezer, and then you can fill up another Tupperware for your fridge, so you have more on deck. But whatever your situation is, if you want to eat all these cookies at once, I do not care. There is no judgment here. You guys know, for the first 6 weeks of postpartum, I literally only ate baked goods. So here are all my little friends in their little Tupperware. I'm gonna lay a thing of parchment paper down, and then we'll go ahead and keep scooping. The true test is whenever you make cookies, if you actually have room to eat the baked cookies after all the cookie dough you've actually consumed. So, here we go, on camera. Oh, there's just nothing better. It smells good, it tastes good, it's soft, it's chewy. As you can tell, like the underside of the cookie's not too cooked, you know what I mean? So it's like, literally I can like squish it. I'm literally gonna squish this cookie for you. You see how squishy that is? That's not too overdone. Oh, just look at that. So delicious. It's good even when I squish it. Well, you guys, sadly, that is the end of this video. But on a good note, that means you probably made these cookies too. So then it kind of is a good thing that this video is ending, right? But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you can bake this while in quarantine and enjoy homemade chocolate chip cookies. Seriously, the best recipe. This is my ride or die, okay? If you do make these, go ahead and tag me on Instagram or tag me in your stories so I can see what you made. My Instagram's at _Brittany Lupton. I post a lot of recipes on there too, so if you are looking for more healthy recipes, you can go ahead and check that out over there. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you did like it. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!